What's up, y'all? Welcome back to 3-Star Draw. I'm down south 77 3-Star Draw. And this here is an adult collector channel where we usually are talking about G.I. Joe Classified. Sometimes, though, we'll take a look at other stuff I like as well. You know the drill. Today is a G.I. Joe Classified video because it is getting toward the end of the year and that classified train is rolling, and I think it's about to roll right over us and pancake us. Me, anyway, that's how I feel, but really, expect no less, honestly, at this point. Today, we are going to check out number 160, Slice and Dice. I got these guys yesterday from Pulse. I've been kind of sitting on them a little bit, trying to get the time to get them open and review them. And I know what you're thinking or what you think I'm thinking, and that is, yay, ninjas. I never wanted to see this on Classified, but I did know it was coming. We already got Nunchuck, who is actually a pretty good figure. He's better than I was expecting. But yeah, I was not big on the ninjas in G.I. Joe.
And you got your ninja chop.
And this is about the time I was exiting the line. Matter of fact, Slice here was my second to last G.I. Joe Real American Hero figure. However, I knew we were going to get into ninjas and Classified, and I knew when they made these guys, they would probably make them really, really badass. And from everything I've seen and heard so far, they are. I am excited to get these. Don't know that I'm going to go down the rabbit hole and pick up all of the Ninja Force stuff whenever it gets here, but I definitely wanted these guys. I need somebody to lead my other Cobra Ninjas that I have, and I knew these guys would be phenomenal when they did them, so I am really excited to check these out. So let's go ahead and do that now. We'll move right over here and get a look at Slice and Dice. As per usual, I like to show this art on the side of the box because it's nice on most of these boxes. I do actually like these portraits. I do kind of miss not getting it on the front, but I also like to see what's in the box, so give that its due. They're number 160 in the line. Over here on this side, you have your attributes for Dice and for Slice, should you feel the need to look those up and decode them. Probably says drink more Ovaltine. I don't know. There's QR code that last I checked still goes nowhere. Should you need their UPC, there it is if you need that. And on the back of the box, get them in these nice kind of facing off. I guess they're kind of vanilla poses, maybe. Whatever, showing off their weapons. Got your sword stuck in the rock back here that is from an episode of the Deke cartoon. I don't know which one because I didn't really watch the Deke cartoon. I've watched it all once just to say I've seen it. Up here on the mountaintop, getting ready to do a triple Lindy off into the jungle. Got somebody hidden. I'm not sure who that is. I'm sure we've figured it out by now, but I don't even remember who that is. And they're getting a lot of mileage out of this jungle diorama. I feel like it's been on several here lately, but I mean, it looks good, so hey, keep using it. All right, let's get these bad boys out. Have our kind of generic red Cobra background there. Put that over there for the time being. If you have any curiosities how they're packaged, that is the answer to all of your questions. And this stuff is underneath in the middle. Well, Hasbro may have a little financial trouble, but they have not dissolved their partnership with Scotch tape. So much tape on these. All right, as you can see, I did switch back to my original camera view here. Still kind of testing that out, but I wanted to be in front for these guys because they have so many details and accessories, and the top-down view has a little trouble focusing, I think, on things. So For this one anyway, we're going to go back to this. Did get out my Real American Hero number 121, which is the first appearance of these guys. And man, look at that. I don't know if I've ever read this comic. I felt bad taking it out of the bag. I don't think I've ever thumbed through it. I think I only read it either another copy or digitally. I don't think I've ever opened this one. Then I grabbed 124 because in my memory, Slice and Dice and Cesspool were on this, but nope, it's Headman. All right, you guys didn't come here for that. Let's go ahead and check out all the stuff these guys come with. I want to look at Dice first. So I kind of piled them up with the stuff that's near them in the box. So let's go ahead and take a look at the accessories first. We're going to start with this cloak, shawl. I'm not sure exactly what this is. Poncho, maybe? Poncho Villa. I don't know. It's nice, flexible brown, not any color or shading or anything really. It's just like a brown cloth. And then you do have a clasp up here. It's got silver with a little black on it, and that's clearly just to fasten it there. So, and it does look a little bit tattered all the way down, a little bit torn, like he's got it caught in a door trying to get away a few times. So we'll set that over here. And then we do have the hat. I'm excited that they included this hat. I do not know what the traditional Japanese name for this hat is. I just know now I can recreate the guys from Big Trouble in Little China. It's even got the little tie down here, which is, it's plastic. I thought maybe this was wire or something at first, but it is plastic. Nice little textured black rope there to tie it on. You're just going to slip that under the chin. There's a pretty good bit of detail in this, and it's not, I mean, it's bendy. It's not gummy. It's not warped or anything, but it is flexible. It's texture on each side. And you do have these silver, I don't know what they are. I'm guessing this has got something to do with the internals on the hat, the way it's made, but they are also very clearly sharp, meant to be sharp. So this can be used as a weapon as it has to be. So I think it looks really cool. So I do. Let's see. Maybe I got too much glare. I don't know. I guess we'll see in the end, huh? And then you do have the throwing knife, little bandolier. This looks pretty cool. It's just a pretty simple black piece of cord. Wouldn't even call this rope. And then you do have 3 throwing knife daggers, little black up here to kind of grip them and chuck them. They look pretty good. Nice shiny silver. Just slip over either one of them. And I'm really guessing this stuff packaged separately can be used on either one. I know most of what I've seen, it's on Slice, but I think it just complements Dice better. Let's go ahead and take a look at his extra head sculpt with the dragon mask. This thing looks really nice. I want to call this a kabuki mask, but I'm not sure it's a kabuki mask, and I think it's something else. Somebody will know and put it in the comments. I have no doubt. But I remember when we first saw this, when it was showed off and we were looking at all the pictures of it, we were zooming in, trying to catch all the detail of this mask and see what it looked like. It looks just as good in person. You got the blue feathered look there, and then you have the ears going into the nose, like some metal, silvery metal teeth. And then you do have the stripe in the back to show that this is just on top of his regular mask, the purple and the black, which is the same as what's on the figure. But this thing does look really nice. I do like the way this come out. A lot of detail in it. A lot of good sculpting in this. Set it off to the side. Of course, you do get plenty of extra fists with this guy. A lot. Man, you get a lot. Okay, some of those are slices. I must have lumped all the fists together because when I popped them out, a couple of them went flying. I had to go hunt them down. So you do have your extra punchy fists here. Got this textured black, whatever, padding. It's probably leather, I'm sure, sculpted in on the little scales that kind of go with the rest of his outfit. And you do have a couple of trigger fingers, standard trigger fingers done the same way. Let's see. They do have that harder plastic. So some of the hands we've been dealing with lately. Oh, there one goes. It's got to hit the floor. Let the hands hit the floor. Do have this harder plastic, so it might be worth it to heat that up if you think you have to put the weapons in. You don't always have to do that, but sometimes it does help with these guys. He does have these dual, I'm going to call them axes. Look, I know that's probably not what they really are, but I'm doing toy review, not medieval Japanese weapon history. These things look sweet. I know somebody had, I've seen some comments that they didn't like the weapons, that they thought they looked kind of cheap. And I think that was people that did not have them out and didn't have them open, because they don't look cheap and they don't feel cheap. Pretty rigid. They're not the gummy weapons that we've had with some of these guys. And they look like little dragon heads. Yep, little dragon heads blowing dragon breath out there. So, I mean, not too, hopefully it's not too reflective. Then they got the handle with this red tassels here on them. I think these look really good. I was hoping they would. I thought they looked really good in the pictures. So, they look just as good in person. And then he does have his slicey staff. That's what I'm going to call it. And I do like that detail there. Looks like it's got dragon's breath there on the blade. More tassels here. Nice, like braided leather, looking like it's leather wrapped texture anyway. It's all black. And then down at the bottom you do get this claw, so it's a weapon on each side, more tassels at the bottom. So I guess this is like a dragon's claw. I don't know. I'll let you guys know next year when Bather gets here. Um, okay, that's all of his stuff. We do have, oh, I can't believe it actually didn't hit the floor. Do have this nice extra head sculpt for him here. Looks good. No real issues with this. The eyes are centered. The skin tone looks good. Of course, he's got to have a scar. Everybody in classified seems like they've got to have a scar, which I don't really mind. It just seems like it's kind of scar overkill at this point, but it does look good. No issues here with the head sculpt. There it is. You see Charles Xavier there a little bit, maybe. I don't know. That Savage Land Xavier everybody bought for $7. Everybody but me. All right, let's check out Dice here. See if I can get him to stand. Now, I already see one thing I don't like about Dice. Good Lord, look at those. Look at those boots. Man, why, oh, why do they use these kind of boots? Makes these guys so heavy to fall forward. I mean, you can usually compensate with them okay, but as much trouble as some of these guys have standing up, I don't know why they want to tip the scales in the favor of just go ahead and throw the weight forward. Wasn't too bad getting him to stand there. A lot of detail on this guy. There's a lot of detail in his costume. So he does also come, of course, with a set of ninja chop hands. He's got a ninja chop hand and he's got a Judy chop hand.
And you got your Judy chop, all right? You got your karate chop, and you got your ninja chop.
So, of course, they did put those on him. There's the mask that comes on him. Looks nice. Got these fangs here. Eyes look good on it. Nice and centered. Throwing a lot of shadow in there on the eyes, I see. Stripes going down. This is his Wolverine mask. He does have this cross section here. Looks like he's got a couple of black grenades there. Got some cord. I don't know what these little things are up here. On anybody else, I'd say maybe there's some kind of bullets, but they're definitely not bullets with this guy. I'm going to say like smoke pellets or something. And over here, he does have a couple of whatever those are. Nice silver. I don't know if that's a weapon or a climbing apparatus or maybe just a fancy buckle for this harness. Not sure. He does have the tassels hanging down. Of course, these are nice and flexible off the belt. Couple pouches here. Nice red accents on this guy up here with the cord on the cross section, the harness. And then you got more cord here hanging underneath this silver belt. There's a lot of attention to detail with the silver rings in here to pull the slack out of this belt to hold it up. And those go around to the back where they clip in. Nice silver buckles, almost like a lobster claw clasp, maybe. And this one does also have his tassels on the back of this mask he comes with. And go down to his boots. They look good. They got those nice dragon scale sculpting in the boots with, again, the red ties on the boots. Looks good. I mean, I'm digging the look on this guy. He's got these shoulder, not pauldrons. I mean, call them pauldrons. I don't know. Maybe just shoulder protection. They do look like strips of leather bound together or something. I get this, like, you see a lot of this kind of plated stuff with Mythic Legions, maybe. Looks a little better, but, it was twice as much. So let's check out his T-pose. No problem going up there. Pinless double jointed arms. Move really nice. No issues there out of the box. They feel a little, I don't know, the plastic on the figure feels a little gummy. I don't know. Horizontal articulation on the wrists. Probably would have been better showing that when I had the spare hands over here. Let's see, I like to see if we got any hiccups with movement. None really. These guys seem to pose really well. Does have this upper bicep guard on just the right. Just noticed that. He doesn't have one on the left. And you can see I did kind of bump it down, so you're going to have to watch his Ultimate Warrior gear there. But even this, like, it's black and it has the cord, and the cord goes all the way around, and you can actually see that red and black contrast. Looks fantastic. If you can probably hear that ratcheting. So no problems with the knees. Do get thigh swivel, boot swivel, and of course you got your standard rockers on the feet. So I don't know, that he should be able to compensate pretty well. He moves very well, so you ought to be able to compensate for those boots fairly easily. All right, we're not going to have a posing contest, but I think it'd be just fine. So let's go ahead and check out a couple of his weapons. Let's see, we'll throw these hands on there. I say we will. There we go. And these will come off if you want them to. So they're actually on there. These are actually on there pretty well. They feel pretty solid on there. I don't think they're going to go anywhere. Let's check out the axes. See how much bending we got to do. Not much. Actually went in there a little easier than I thought. I do dig these axes. Whoever said they didn't like these axes, man, what's wrong with you? What's the matter with you? So it looks like he's getting ready to deal out some damage. And we didn't check out butterfly joints. I guess they're in there. I can't tell. Yeah, that's the actual bicep cut moving up there. So those, I guess these are attached into them. Well, like you got next to nothing. Yeah, that whole thing's moving. So these are attached to the butterfly joints. It's not moving much at all. So let's see if we can get him doing a ninja kick with his axes. I told y'all we're not going to sit here and have a posing contest, but it looks like we're going to sit here and have a posing contest. Oh, you can do it. All right, well, he will do it. I'm not going to sit here and take the time to do that. So there's his Jean-Claude Van Damme. And again, these are bendy, flexible, drop down hips. Yep, pretty good drop down hips on him too. But I'm more worried with the fact that they go back up and stay. Man, I'm so glad that they fixed that with these figures. Let's check out his stabby staff. A little more work to get that in there, but not too bad. So this thing, he poses well enough, and this staff, this blade, it's long enough. You should be able to get some good articulation, some good swinging poses or stabbing poses, however you want to do it. Now he's gonna cut you. That's the rule. Cut you. So I'm happy with Dice. And again, I told you guys I wasn't a big fan of Dice. So this is going to have, you could probably put this on, trying to see if it'll fit on over this head too. I don't think that one, I don't think it's going to go on. But let's see, do his bat ears fit through there? No, I don't think, I definitely think it's not meant to go on with this. So I do want to put this on with Dice. We'll put this, put his Xavier head on there. And guess I should have put the hat on first, huh? I don't think there's really a front and a back to this. Doesn't stay on, doesn't fit on super well. I guess that's why it's got a tie. It gives you an idea what it looks like on him. I'm pretty sure, I don't know, maybe that's the back because it's got a little lip back there. So maybe that is meant to be the back of the hat. That's definitely meant to be the back of the hat. So look for that little lip on the back of the opening. It definitely fits, stays on there way better where it's meant to kind of cradle the back of the head. What? It's gonna make that kind of hard, isn't it? Putting this on with the hat. I guess you can take and pull this through. Remember that everything was a tool for ninjas. This was known as the hat putter owner. Maybe that's why it's got the little fork there. So I don't know. It looks a little weird on Dice. Maybe it really is meant to go on Slice more. I thought it would look better on Dice, but so there's Dice pretty much. I do like him. Like he's much better than the Real American Hero figure was. I thought Dice kind of looked so plain. And Dice is going to have some shelf space around him. We do have to check this head out too, so that looks pretty wicked on there. It's interesting that it's the blue and he has nothing else that is that color blue. So it almost feels out of place, but I feel like the purple, it wouldn't have stood out enough. And I'm pretty sure this is supposed to stand out to be scary and just jump at you. So let's set Dice aside for a minute. Move all of his stuff over here. Let's check out what all Slice has. Slice does have, he's got a ninja chop or a Judy chop hand, however you wish.
Like a Judy chop.
His do not come on him. And horizontal articulation on his hands as well. Got his punchy fists and this little plating on the back of his hands, similar to what Dice has, except all of Slice's are covered. Would have been, with his overall look, that would have been cool if they'd hit that with some of the silver. I think that would have set those hands off a little bit, but whatever. Let's see. He does have his hook swords. These are probably the weakest accessories that I see. They're not like super flimsy. They're not bent or anything, but they are not the caliber of Dice's accessories. I mean, clearly Dice has got the shiny paint, and these are just your standard. This is what they do the regular knives in, and we just go meh. And unfortunately, all of Slice's stuff looks that way. Let's have his daggers here, and same thing. Like they didn't even really paint the hilt on his stuff. And I don't know, like if you're gonna go the extra mile with Dice's stuff, why wouldn't you do Slice's? And we're gonna look at Slice and see that he does have that shiny silver on him, and then he has his hand blades. Again, I mean these are not bad. They're not bad weapons, but they just look so bland. Even a cool weapon like this, where he's going to grab them and this is going to be the outer hand guard, they just look so boring. And then he does have a sai. Does he have two sais? Because I don't see another one. It makes sense that he would have two, but I only see one. So they did hit the hilt on the sai and on this one, as you can see, with some black. And then these have the same tassels looking things. But his look more like just red bands than the actual. I mean, you can see it looks like Dice's are tassels and these are just blah. I don't know. It's hard to tell, but man, they just kind of did Dice's weapons dirty. But maybe it's because they put all the paint on this fancy head. So he does have his ties back here for his mask, and I do really like this. I mean, it's got nothing to do with Darklon's mask, but you kind of get Darklon mask vibes from it. Although this one is very clearly, more Japanese inspired, I think. But nice, shiny, shiny silver with black eyes, black down there around the mask, around the mouth, which is going to be his, so he can breathe. And then kissing back of the head is going to be the same on both of these, and it is. Now, does this move? It does not, and I'm not messing with it too much because as I found out with Xandar, these are probably just glued in really well, or in the case of my Xandar figure, not very well at all. It's going to bother me that I don't see an extra sai for him, so I'm going to have to find out if he's supposed to come with two or not. So let's check out Slice here. Again, I had this guy because I thought Slice looked really cool, and he looks really cool here. It's nice red, fades down into black, which is kind of a cool detail. They did a really good fade job on that, I think. And again, he has some cord here on his belt, red cord tied around, nice silver on the belt buckle to fasten this belt together, and kind of a sash, I guess. It's tied back here in the back as well. And it's all one piece, but it looks like it's clearly meant to be two pieces. So this is some kind of armor, and then this is the sash. Do have his scabbard back here on the back, and that does come out. Wasn't sure, but it does come out. I don't know how much I'm going to trust that, although it does seem to fit in there pretty well. And it does have these open scabbards that we've been seeing so much lately. I mean, you're not going to really be able to fit these through a regular one, I don't think, but I don't know. They don't fit in very well. None of these do. Laws is okay, but so we'll look at that in a minute. And then you have his gi wearing nice black underneath it, going up, covering his neck as well. Got his gi overneath, over the top. Nice black texture there going down on the edges of it. Red pants. This nice padding around his sides of his thighs there. And in the back, goes all the way around. Red on the seat of the pants. Nice wrinkle on the down around the top of the boots. Boots are pretty nice looking. Got a little bit of kind of top of the shin guard. Got some silver accents down here on them, and an entirely different kind of, I wouldn't even call these scales. These do look like kind of rubber strips, where it looks like these are probably slip-on overneath, but not actual boots. And then you do have, he's got the ninja boots with the camel toes. They give him those. Remember how much we all looked at those at the Oriental shop in the mall? Then over here, see, this is what I was talking about on his weapons and his extra head. He does have plenty of the shiny silver, and it just does not match. But he's got these pauldrons, black, got your silver rivets. He's got frog pauldrons, rivets, nice shiny silver piping all the way around them. Do match his forearm guards. It's kind of, I don't feel like his are meant to swivel or come off. But this is almost like this could be used as a weapon if it caught somebody just right. And then do like, maybe he is just supposed to have one side, because it looks like that's where it goes. Again, I don't have my original one out here, so I don't know if he had a side there. Ties around it to help hold all that together. Really sets it off, kind of like Dice's does with those cord ties around it. They're probably not really needed, because this is clearly made onto the forearm guard. It's just like an extra detail that they put in to match on his waist. So it looks good. He's killer overall. Then of course we do have his fencing style mask. Nice texture there to it. This would be, somebody had another slice. This would be a good head to use for Energon Universe Cobra Commander. Pretty good range of motion. Not great, but. And then I did forget to mention on Dice, these guys do have, they've got their torso ratchets, not loose. Dice's isn't either. Dice is looser than Slice, but that's not too, the figure's not loose. It's not problematic loose. Slice looks pretty funky. Let's throw his extra head on there. Check that out. I like that even better. I didn't think I'd like it as much as this one, but what do you guys think? Which one you like better? I do like the traditional fencing mask. So let's go ahead and see if his side's going to fit in there. I guess he does just come with one. Makes me feel better, because that means I didn't lose it. Let's check these out. Let's check out these arm dagger blades here. Guessing this is probably the way they are meant to go. Let's see if we can get them in there. There's where that, if you want to heat the hand up, that's where that's going to come in handy, because again, with the thumb and the trigger fingers on these guys, it buckles that thumb underneath where it's already got a bend in it. So there we go. Looks good. It'd look a lot better if it was the shiny silver. But I actually kind of like these. I wasn't sure I was going to like these for him, but these actually look pretty wicked when he's got them in his hands. Let's see if we can get that other one in there. Man, that thumb is just so bendy, or pre-bent, I guess would be what it is. It's meant so they can grip, weapons and stuff better, but there we go. So I do kind of like these. He looks pretty mean with these. I got him in there, can't get him out. Bend these things all up trying to get him out. And it just dawned on me we didn't really check his articulation out of box, so see how well he moves. Everything looks pretty good there. These shoulder pauldrons are going to hinder that a little bit doing a T-pose with this guy. They don't really move. He's got a little more with the butterfly joints, but not much. And thigh swivel, he does have boot cut. No issues there with his knee movement. He stands a whole lot better than Dice because his boots are not pointed toward the sky. Let's see what he looks like with the swords. These swords they are so underwhelming. I should have looked at him first. There. Again with the thumb. There we go. These don't do much for me. I know these are kind of his signature sword. They're just not doing a lot for me. Let's check out his little daggers here. He's got, look at that gap. You can see that gap in his hand, like his trigger finger. It's like the knife throwing gap, except it's just one finger. And these are going to be harder to get in his hands, I think. A little bit. So I like the little short swords better for this guy. But man, they just look they look janky, I ain't gonna lie. When you look how good the figure looks and these swords in his hand, I'm not digging these. I mean, they'll do. Guessing these are meant to maybe hang just like that in these little loops. Kind of hold them in. Backwards. Yeah, maybe that way. I feel like these are going to fall out either way you do it. So you're going to have to watch that. I think he actually looks better without them in there. And then we have looked at all of Slice's stuff. So we'll do some pictures of them here in a little bit to put on the end or sprinkle throughout. Man, we got to put the hat on Slice, don't we? Dice is just funky, man. He looks great, but some boots. No, I am definitely not as happy with Dice as I am with Slice, and it's mostly because of these boots. And I know you'll be able to balance him nice to get him on the shelf, but he just don't really want to stand very well. Set him over there because he's probably going to fall. Now let's check Slice out with the hat. And the little scarf thing. I don't know if his ties are supposed to go over it or under it. So, but at least we know how the hat goes on now. Getting the tie tucked underneath is a bit of a pain. Oh, now they're going to go over. There's just not a real good way to do this. Yep, that's right. So you're going to have to kind of fiddle with that and get the tie pushed down in there. There. Definitely looks much better on slice than it does on dice. What do you guys think? I was really hoping it would kind of fit dice better, but I think it really does look better with slice. All right. You better stand up. We didn't put the bandolier on anybody, but I guess we can do that real quick, maybe. Meant to go this way, I'm sure. I just did that backwards again. It doesn't go on the way you think it would go on. You gotta have the knives held in, for gravity. So there we go. Let's see, let's go ahead and throw this head back on there for the sake of argument. That's not a bad look for him. I do like this. The silver on his chest really sets him off. Some shiny. Man, this dude just does not want to stand very well. All right. Slice and dice. What do you guys think about them? I like them. They're not a bad set. They're not perfect. They look really good, but I do have a few issues with them. So we got to give them a rating here. So I'm gonna have to give. We're gonna do them individually. I'm gonna give Slice a 4.25 yeehaws and Dice a 4. Dice is man, his weapons are so good, but the way he's designed is not great. Slice, I'm gonna have to give a 4. Probably have to give Slice a 4.25 yeehaws. So overall, the whole set, probably a 4 for me, because they come with plenty of stuff, but it's not like great stuff. No, we didn't put the choppy hand on him. So I'm going to go with the set, man. Set's a 4. Individually, we'll go with a 4 and a 4.25. Yeehaws. So I'll get some pictures of these guys and put in here. Let me know what you think about them down in the comments. And I will see you next time on 3-Star Draw.
I like that Judy chop.